Hey, good evening, guys. So we are on our terrace, and I've just read a chapter from the book "How to Win and Influence People," and it was a great chapter. It was a great chapter, though, and I've read it, and also I implement something in my life. We'll discuss it later in this video. And let's start this video. The learning from the book "How to Win and Influence People" of today's chapter. So the new chapter is talking about drop of honey. What this means. Have you noticed yourself at difficult situations, at problems, at fights, at discussions, at debates? Because a lot we do get a lot of these things, and still we choose our attitude towards it is not always the right or the positive one, because sometimes we feel a little obvious, we feel like a little nervous or a little anxious, angry, or because we kind of feel a lot of emotions, man. But still we don't need to react on everything. Like, you do not need to uh, deal every situation like it's an emergency or a thing. I know this emergency thing I've learned in a book. Uh, don't sweat for small stuff, and everything is small stuff. So in that book, the author gave an example of soap opera. You know about it. If you have seen my previous videos, so you know about it. Yeah, it's a great concept though, and still we are at our book "How to Win and Influence People," and the chapter is about that. In life we get a lot of problems and things. If we deal with people with angriness or a little kind of problem, or not in a sophisticated way, so we feel difficulties in these particular areas in our life, because in a lot of areas we do feel like that. We do feel like we need to uh, scold someone or say someone that you have why you have done this, and angry. But they're not a right way to do it, because if you do it, people will feel defensive, because you have seen in our previous videos also, like we have discussed about this defensiveness, why they feel defensive, and why they make their own, or why they put their own point and try to defend themselves. Why? Because it's a human emotion, a human ego. They think like you are taking their self-esteem, their self-respect. That's why they usually do this. But you don't need to do this. Give respect to them, and some kindness is really important in these kind of problems, because we don't usually know how to deal with things. So that means you need to do a little kindness, because when they feel that's how they can feel it. And dropping honey is really important, bro, in any kind of communication, in any kind of life communication or relationship. That dropping some kind of honey is really necessary. And so politeness or a kind behavior is already worth than a negativity or angriness, because it is not like that, man. If you do want to do something great for someone, then you can do it. And if you do from your genuine heart, and you give genuine compliments, not the flattery ones, it will surely work out. So that's why the author said that a drop of honey is really important for any kind of relationship, because that's how you can build something. And it's about you, man. Like, it's you versus you thing. And if you deal the situations angrily, the other person will feel defensive and try to defend himself and argue with you and do all the relevant stuff which you know about. But if you try to defend not to defend sorry if you try not to defend yourself also, like, do not speak angrily, show some kind of kindness, and do the work properly, and communicate properly, and listen the other person, and hear the other person. So that will be even better in any relationship or any fight or any conflict, because that's what gives you a broader way, a broader concept, a broader thing in life. Because a lot of people still facing these kind of small issues or small problems or small fights, because but they don't even matter, my man. They don't even matter. And if you're thinking that they still matter, that you're not living in the real world, man. You're in somewhere else. You're in your mind. You're in some kind of delulu. But yo, that's, you don't need to react on everything. So that's why doing to fixing things kindly is really important, because that's you can how you can treat better relationships. The author gave an example of a business person, like his sorry, not used to the filler words like uh, and he did something good for them, because they were on a strike, but they were on a strike, but still he chose something to do good for them, and then they tried to help him also. uh, they was littering they was literally littering the waste from cigarette butt waste and plastics from ground, and because they were helping him, because if you do something for someone, they try they feel like you have done something good to them, and that they try to reverse back to you or revert back to you. And that's what the lesson about. And what I was talking about my life is, I feel nowadays that I'm learning, but it's good to learn, but concepts are not clear, because if I'm learning about from this book, I need to go into deeper and practice these examples. But if I try to do multiple things, I don't usually do the things or practice these things, because it is generally very important, because these concepts are really important. So I am thinking about to take a break with other things and do something else instead of them, and try to learn and apply these principles to my life. Thanks. That's what it is, bro. Uncle Lang is here, bro, and always be here, bro. Here, bro, and here. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Thanks so much, love.